Bench press. Bench press, postural consideration. First joint, shoulder joint, glenohumeral joint. The main joints working during the bench press. Second joint, elbow joints. Secondary joints that contribute significantly. Third joint, wrist joint. It supports the barbell. Joint action involved. Shoulder joints, horizontal adduction and slight internal rotation. Elbow joints, flexion during the lowering phase and extension during the pressing phase. Wrist joints, maintain a neutral position with minor extension or flexion to stabilize. Agonist muscles activating. Pectoralis major. Primary muscle responsible for horizontal adduction of the arm. Deltoids, anterior part, assist in the shoulder flexion and horizontal adduction. Tricep branchii, primary muscles responsible for the elbow extension. Antagonist muscles activating. Latissimus dorsi, shoulder flexion and horizontal adduction. Biceps branchii, elbow extension. Rhomboids and middle trapezius. Control scapular movement, stabilizes the shoulder blades. Stabilizing muscles involved. Rotator cuff muscles, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, subscapular, stabilize the shoulder joint. Rhomboids, stabilize the scapula. Core muscles, rectus abdominis, obliques, erectus spina. Maintain strong trunk, stability and balance. Forearm flexors extensors, stabilize the wrist. Type of lever used. Third class lever. The bench press primary uses a third class lever where the effort is applied between the fulcrum elbow and the load barbell. In this setup, the effort arm muscle force is shorter than the load arm, requiring greater effort to move the weight. Balance, center of gravity, and stability. Balance. Proper balance is maintained by keeping the feet flat on the ground and driving through the heels. The shoulder blades should be retracted and depressed to provide a stable base. Center of gravity. The center of gravity shifts slightly towards the head when the barbell is lifted. Keeping the core tight helps maintain balance. Stability. Stability is ensured by engaging the core and retracting the shoulder blades. Speed of movement. Controlled speed. A controlled descent, eccentric, and explosive concentric phase are crucial. A slower descent enhances muscle engagement and reduces risk of injury. An explosive maximizes power output and muscle recruitment. Exercise modification. To increase difficulty, add weight or use a narrow grip. Increasing weight demands greater force production and engages the muscles more intensely. A narrow grip shifts more load to the triceps and pectorals, increasing difficulty. To decrease difficulty, use a wider grip or reduce the weight. A wider grip decreases the range of motion, which can reduce the challenge. Lowering weight reduces the load. Biomechanical factors in modifying intensity. Levers. Changing grip width affects the leverage and muscle activation patterns. Weight directly influences the load on the muscles. stability. Using stability aids or modification like bench press machine can reduce the demand on stabilizing muscles. Bodyweight squats. Bodyweight squats, postural considerations. Joint involved, hip joint, flexion and extension. Knee joint, flexion and extension. Ankle joint, dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Joint actions involved, hip, flexes as you lower into the squat and extends as you rise. Knee, flexes as you lower into the squat and extend as you rise. Ankle, dorsiflexes as you lower into the squats. Heels remain on the ground and plantar flexes as you rise. Agonist muscles activating. Quadriceps, primary responsible for knee extension. Gluteus maximus, responsible for the hip extension. Hamstrings, assist with hip extension and stabilize the knee. Antagonist muscles activating. Hamstrings, oppose the action of the quadriceps during the knee extension. Hip flexors, oppose the gluteus maximus during hip extension. Stabilizing muscles involved. Core muscles, rectus abdominis, obliques, erectus spinae, stabilize the trunk. Adductors, help stabilize the hips. Calves, assist with ankle stability. Type of lever used. The bodyweight squat primary uses a third-class lever system in the knee joint. In this system, the effort, force from the quadriceps, is applied between the fulcrum, knee joint, and the load body weight. This lever type allows the greater range of motion and speed, but requires more effort to lift the load. Balance, center of gravity, and stability. Balance. During a squat, balance is maintained by keeping the center of gravity over the base of support, feet. Proper alignment and foot placement are crucial. Center of gravity shifts slightly backwards towards the heels as you lower into a squat moves, and move forward towards the toes as you rise. Maintaining a neutral spine helps keep the center of gravity aligned over the feet. Stability. Core engagement is essential to stabilize the torso and prevent excessive forward lean. Speed of movement. Speed. Generally, bodyweight squats are performed at a controlled pace. The descent should be slow to ensure proper form and muscle engagement, while the ascent can be more explosive. Controlled speed helps prevent injury and ensures that the muscles are properly engaged throughout the full range of motion. Exercise modification. To increase difficulty, add resistance, incorporating weights, holding dumbbells, increasing the load, making the muscles more harder. This modification affects the lever arm length, requiring more force to lift the same body weight. To decrease difficulty, perform partial squats, reducing depth of squats. Squatting to a chair decreases range of motion, which reduces the demand of muscles and joints. This modification impacts the lever arm and decreases the intensity of muscle activation.